Hiya, and welcome back to Password, the game that teaches us that in all routes, except for like 2, we are in a fucking love triangle with us, Dean, and the route person we're in. The exceptions, I think, being Orlando and Dean. Orlando's route and Dean's route. So what do those two have that prevents the love triangle? Anyways, let's just hop right in. And oh goddammit, I forgot. Do we want the pretty boy to stay or go to bed?
Hi and welcome back to Password, the game that teaches us that Haas is thirsty for some yin cake and he doesn't want anyone else to have it.
That's how it is with all of them. Like I love Heptagon. Fucking right. Wait, are we also including Benson and Oswin? Because if we are, then it's a love nonagon. Okay, Os. What? Yeah. I nodded slowly. If that's alright, like, I guess I like sleeping together. You smell nice and are comfortable and I don't know. Hiya. Haas laughed, shaking his head. Oh, I'm glad you think so. You asked me to spend the night, sorry to say, but I can't tonight. Maybe tomorrow? You can't? I've still got a few things I need to take care of, so I don't know how much longer I'll be up for. What sort of things? You could just join me after. In that case, bump that no up to a maybe. Careful about being too eager though, otherwise I feel you might have something else in mind. I finished off my cocoa and he offered out a hand to take the mug from me. I'll let the light on my way out if you want. You look comfy. Thanks, Haas. Don't worry about it, I'll see you in the morning. Sure enough, he left, turning off the light before closing the door behind him. I rolled over and cuddled into my pillow, wondering what to make of Haas. Felt bad that I was questioning my friendship with him at the same time, trying to figure out if he saw me as a little brother or something more. Obviously, the kiss implied more, maybe, but with everything going on, it was hard to say. Maybe he just wanted something casual, maybe it was just worth asking him directly what he wanted. With another yawn, I cuddled in closer to my pillow. It was a job for tomorrow anyway. Day 10. Hi, Yin Dad. You're dead. And that's actually pretty fucking depressing. Something to do last night. You remember, right? You're definitely gonna fuck. Ty, what are you doing? You saw nothing. I thought back, nodding slowly. Yeah, you said you had things to take care of. That's right. Have you been up all night? What? Oh! Not all night. I got a couple of hours in before I had to, go fix a problem. What sort of problem? Something that Benson asked me to do. Would you believe that I've forgotten about it until last night? That seems like a lie. Well, am I lying? I grumbled, shaking my head. I didn't answer him. As it should have been clear enough for my expression, I was too tired for guessing games this early in the morning. Did you need to talk about it? I don't know. Come on, maybe we can watch the sunrise. Yes! It's so cute! Why are they cute? Why do they feel the need to be fucking adorable? Why do they feel that need to be adorable? Why? It's cute. Haas and I stood outside, leaning over the railing that ran around the outside of the deck. Fuck. So, what's got you out of bed this early? For someone that spends a lot of time in bed, I half assumed I'd be running into Sal this morning. Why Sal? He is normally up early, sometimes up late. You can never tell with him. With you, though? He poked me gently in the shoulder, flashing a quick smile. You? Sleep half the day away unless you've got a reason to be up. Yeah, I guess that's true. And? I think I've come to a decision. I don't know if it's entirely good or entirely bad just yet, but it's something. Sounds important? Anything you can share about it? I drummed my fingers on the railing of the deck before looking at Haas. I want to keep everyone alive, no matter what. The hero life, the selfless sacrificing road. Very respectable. Something like that, maybe. I guess I want to do it. I looked away, letting those words sink in. Did I really want to do it, or did I just feel backed into a corner? Forcing down my feelings of Dad dying was something I did to cope on a daily basis. Adding the risk of my friends dying as well felt suffocating. Well, props to you, I guess. I don't think I could live that life. Wait, really? Is that really that much of a surprise? I can't do any good if I'm completely selfless. At some point, you have to look out for yourself, Dave. Well, yeah, obviously, but I just thought... Oh, what? That despite being super into Sentai, that I'd be wanting that life? I guess a little, yeah. Haas laughed, shaking his head. Fucking telegram. Well, it'd be nice. Shame real life doesn't work out that way. At the same time, we shielded our eyes as the sun crested over the trees. It was pretty and in an odd way inspiring. Maybe it was because Haas was next to me. But it just seemed like the sun rising was giving me a sense of purpose. Or rather, just a feeling that I could rise to the occasion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just, yeah. Pretty sure everyone can get sunburn. The sun was always going to rise the morning after, and much like Dad had said in my dream, if I did my best, he'd be proud. Well, sun's up, so I'm going to take a nap to catch up on some sleep. Oh. What, wanna join me? No, but thanks, there was something else though. What is that thing in your pocket? After my nap, come find me and I'll show you properly. It'd take a bit of explaining, and with the amount of sleep I've had, it wouldn't, well, you'd have questions afterwards. I nodded slowly and he took that chance to head back inside. I was going to have questions regardless, I just knew it. Watching the world go by me gave me some time to think, but ultimately I couldn't get anywhere right now. What I could achieve is coffee. Beyond that, it was just a matter of waiting till everyone else was awake. Oh, hi, Benson. Yes. Hold up. Go back. I just want to look at the Yeen. Cute Yeen. As I sighed out, I caught Haas giving me a sly smile. I was about to say something before he turned to Tyson quickly. Hey buddy, mind if I give it a try? I looked at Tyson, who seemed to be assuming that Haas was talking to me, but when he didn't reply, Haas cleared his throat. What? I was talking to you. Oh, sure, knock yourself out, but first... Ty put a hand on my shoulder, giving me a firm look before backing off. Yeah, he'll be fine. I'll catch you two later. So... I straightened up, scratching the back of my head while Haas looked me over. Mind filling me in on what caused that? Wasn't about what we talked about this morning, right? Kinda, I'm second-guessing myself a little. Whether or not I'd be able to do it after all. Well, where do we start? Do you know where the danger is so we can get to keeping people safe? I looked at him unsure. What, no good? You said you trust me, right? That's right. Then, what was that thing you had this morning? That Benson asked you to do or whatever. That's... complicated. Complicated how? Complicated enough that you're going to get the wrong idea when I tell you what it is. Then how can I trust you back? Are you saying you don't? I'm saying I want to, but I'm... worried. We've been through the vault stuff already, and someone's behind it. You knew about the library. You were given a note of passwords. And you used a password to save my life. Yeah. I scratched my neck, wondering what I was supposed to think. That alone should have cleared Haas from being the suspicious one here, but why was I second-guessing it still? Well, what if we tried to figure out what happened when you saw me die? Really? Got any other ideas? You know what happened, so you'd be leading this thing. Best I can offer is to round up some assistance. I guess that's a good place as any to start. But I still want to know what that thing was. Oh, and are you still wearing that anime girl? Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna see what's in the Discord server that Yoanna's talking about. The cell phone work with me. Come on, phone. what did you do? Just, what did you do? Because I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing anything. What did you do? What did you do? Ah, shit, that looks good. That actually looks really good. Yeah, that looks really good. I guess that's a good place as any to start, but I still want to know what that thing was. And I promise I'll tell you. But not now. Later, after we've done something else first. I shot him a look, but ended up sighing out soon after while I shook my head. Okay, well, I'll go get ready and I'll meet you in the foyer. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. I made it back to my room and took a shower. Using the hot water to clear my head, it was early and Haas wasn't helping me with my thoughts. He made me feel uneasy in so many different ways that I wasn't sure if it was in a good way or a bad way anymore. But for now, I needed to focus, reminding myself that Haas had something to answer for after we'd done some investigating, which I need a couple things for. The first, my notebook. I figured that while I was intending to use this as more of a journal, having something to keep notes might help me filter out anything Haas might say as a distraction. I grumbled, rubbing the corner. Probably end up filling this whole book if I let Haas go on an anime tangent mid-investigation. Next up, phone, just in case I need to call someone or use something on it. Haas would almost certainly have his own, but having a backup never hurt. All I had to do was remember to keep it charged and I wouldn't run into the same problem I had the other day. I was a little apprehensive when I reached the foyer, unsure of how all of this was really going to go down. My eyes were immediately drawn off to the side where Haas was arriving with Sal in tow. I don't understand. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. Why is Sal here? I don't really know why either. Haas just said I need to come with him for something. Hey, I said that Dave needed help with something. And you chose Sal? What about, like, Roswell or... Okay, well, I could go get him if you'd rather. Hey now, that's not very nice. There was a good reason I chose Sal. He's very level-headed and would probably know better than the others here. Think about it. Roswell would go hard and fast with investigating death. Orlando would be freaking out. Dyson would think it's stupid. Dean wouldn't get it. And given you're likely the same, I don't think doubling up would be wise. Hey, I get it just fine. Hiya. Get what? Maybe I chose wrong after all. I wanted to investigate what I saw in the vault, Sal. Haas being dead. But Haas is right here and he's fine. Sal, baby, never change. Sal, baby, Sal. Baby girl. Never change. To illustrate his point, he lightly poked Haas in the chest. Soon after, Haas fixed his mane, shooting me a grin. Or I'm more than fine, but this is to put his head at ease, Sal. He's been fretting over us ever since the other day, I'm guessing. Sal looked from Haas to me, giving me a smile, his voice relieved and genuine. Oh, that's very kind of you. I laughed, scratching my head with my notebook. Like I said to Haas this morning, I just want to keep everyone alive and safe is all. Which is why you wanted to investigate this thing. I don't get it. How are you going to do that when Haas is still alive? I don't really know, but I've got to do something. Roleplay? Sure, we can roleplay, but I guess first question should be where are we headed? Oh, I don't know, you looked... What? Just that right there. Well, that's helpful. So the pool then? No, well, maybe I thought you were, or that I saw you, one of the bathrooms? Maybe, I want to say I saw tiles, but... Then that'd be the shower downstairs, attached to the gym. Would it be better if we headed downstairs for a closer look then? Haas strode past me without waiting for a reply, assuming that that's where we were headed anyway. Sal left next, shrugging and following Haas downstairs. I was left in a daze for a few moments before I followed them, heading into the gym and stopping short the moment I stepped inside. Wet, moist even. Fuck. Haas was on the floor, sprawled out, and Sal seemed to be giving him an unimpressed look. Why is Haas on the floor? He's role-playing. Is it helping? I'm sorry, I genuinely thought that Haas would say that. With a smile on his face, just, is it helping? Just with a huge smile on his face. but he's not smiling, and that's sad. He stood up, stretching his back before looking at me. Before that, I should probably ask how I died. I don't think I died from getting wet after all. My eyes went to the floor, not wanting to look at him. The heavy footfalls of Sal coming closer, only to put a hand on my shoulder, roused me back to remembering to respond. Stabbed. In the chest. As expected, there was silence following what I'd said, broken eventually by my own sigh. If I had to guess, it was in the shower, but your fur was kind of matted down, and the blood, and started to choke on my words, the vision of it flashing to the forefront of my mind. To ease me back down, Sal gripped my shoulder slightly tighter, almost as if massaging the spot with his fingers. That's a fairly quick death. Well, that's good. I think it doesn't exactly make me feel any better, though. Stabbed with what? Groaning, I thought back. I'd expected Sal to be the level-headed one here, but it made sense. Meanwhile, Haas seemed to be as stiff as a board, flexing his hands with his eyes trained on me. A knife? It looked really thick for a knife, though. Could have been a hunting knife. Why would anyone stab me with a hunting knife? Who would even have one of those anyway? Dean has one. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. My eyes went wide at what Sal said, the implication of such clear as day. Why would Dean? Sal shook his head, taking a step back to think. I don't think he would. He only has one because of how often he goes out camping, and to do his little wood things. Little what? Way to throw me under the bus. All that got me was a shrug before Sal continued. I don't think you've given much reason to want to come after you anyway. Unless there's something you've done without me knowing. Wasn't over the anime stuff, was it? That happened only after you used the password, so that idea goes out the window. Honestly, I'm surprised as you are. I'm as surprised as you are that he opted for that over a board game. So, if not Dean, who? Well, if all we got to work off of is me being wet and stabbed, wait. I wasn't naked, was I? No, you had pants on. Well, alright, at least I wasn't jumped while having a shower. That just means Dyson's the top suspect, right? That didn't sit right with me for reasons I wasn't quite sure of. I knew he could have a violent streak. That didn't really involve weapons, at least not knives. Why, Tyson, if we're talking knives, it could be anyone. The day that Dave told me about all of this was the day I was planning on going to chat to Tyson about stuff. Go on. Nothing to really go on about. Dave talked me out of doing it, so I went and talked to Orlando instead. It couldn't be... Well, I'm just saying he's the top suspect, not that he did it. Honestly, it could have even been someone like Benson. Without a timeline of events or alibis, I don't think we can narrow down who it could be either. Is there anyone we can eliminate? Well, you, for one, I'm comfortable ruling out. Wouldn't make sense for you to warn me away from it if you were the one behind it, right? I know this is bad of me to ask, but we're sure what he saw was real, right? Felt a little ashamed at being questioned about it, as he had a point that all of this could have really just been in my head. I was a little uncertain at first, but the moment it happened again with Benson, I was convinced something was happening. It was another one of us, then Dave freaking out makes sense, but hiya. But a relative stranger, I see your point. This creates a problem where we're just going to end up accusing everyone with nothing to go off of. Yeah, I'm feeling that way too. We could find this knife then maybe, but I'm sorry Dave, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. I grumbled, thinking it over. We were at the pool, Haas wanted to go talk to Tyson, then didn't when I intervened. The reason I stopped him was because I saw him in the vault stabbed through the chest with a thick knife. I think you're right, but there has to be something, right? Something to make sure we all stay, like, safe? Safe, please. Lumbering over, Sal placed a hand on my shoulder. I'll try my best to keep everyone safe. But if you find the knife you saw, even better. Even better? Would that help? I nodded quickly and Sal stepped back, looking to Haas. I think it was, and it might have actually been Oswin's knife. I haven't seen it. Inzeo? Cat? Well, what now? This is about you, right? I was doing this mostly for Dave, but if we've hit a dead end, then I think we're done. Are we really out of suspects? We haven't talked about everyone, though. Are you sure you want to be accusing Orlando? What? But Orlando couldn't have done it. None of you guys could have. Which is kind of the point I'm getting at. If you're not willing to consider us as potential murderers, then it must be someone else, or... Well... I trust everyone here. Maybe more than I should, but I don't think anyone would have killed you, Haas. Might get frustrated at Dean from time to time, but I don't see how you could push anyone's buttons. I can do that easily enough, but I try and keep it in good fun. Probably a good reminder for me to hold back on doing that with Dyson until I know him a little better. But I think he's been enjoying himself. Just stream being silly as usual. No. Just it being a fucking asshole. With anime? Always anime. Well, except for Dean, I guess, but maybe we just need to find him the right show. I might go do something else now if we're stuck. But if you need anything, I'll make myself available. Oh, well, alright, Sal. Thanks. Haas and I watched him wander away, leaving the two of us alone. Listening until I was certain Sal had gone upstairs, I looked to Haas with a frown. Okay, now start talking. What? We did the thing, now you can tell me about the thing from this morning. What's gotten into all of a sudden? I don't want to have to question myself over you anymore. Why can't you just tell me things? Everyone else does. And I said I would. You don't have to be an ass about it. But I'm not. You're just avoiding telling me for whatever reason. It sucks feeling this way. Feeling what way? I don't even know. When I look at you, I'm so confused and I'm torn between thinking that we're friends or that's just an act or... Words were barely out of my mouth before he lunged forward and pulled me into a hug. The shock made me go limp slightly, almost dropping my notebook. So of course we're friends, it's just... I worry. About yourself? About you. I've heard bits and pieces from the others about what you were like growing up, and I saw a glimpse of it once, but then never again. I sighed out, suddenly exhausted. That's not your fault, though. Oh, shit, that's right, it signed me out. Yeah, I got it. Hang on. Usually I'm able to plan around ads, but... You know, it fucking signed me out. Twitch fucking signed me out. And I can't remember my fucking password. Ever. Thankfully, my phone knows my password. So I can just pull it up on my phone. I just fucking deleted it, because I don't fucking know anymore. Alright. Twitch.tv. What is it? Fucking... Yes, remember it for 30 days. I don't have to do that shit anymore. Iconic that I can't remember my password or plain password. Because the usual shit that I go for with my password, usual shit, Twitch doesn't like. So anyways, back to the story. If we get more technical issues, I'm going to fucking cry. That's not your fault, though. Maybe not, but I'm still allowed to care. I'm not the best at showing it properly around the others, but that's kind of why I wanted Dr. Dyson the other day. I don't get it. You're friendly enough around everyone, right? That's not what I'm getting at. Dyson cares about you and has trouble showing it, or maybe he just doesn't consciously do it around the others. I don't know, but he's so cool about it. About caring for me? Yes, about caring for you. I chuckled a little, feeling it hard to stay annoyed at him or at the very least focused on what I'd pointedly asked him. Even beyond that, he just doesn't care what other people think. I want to learn to be more like that. Ty is kind of a special case, so I wouldn't say he's confident so much as that he's given up on most people. Well, he hasn't given up on you, that's for sure. I just wish it was easier not caring what other people think. Then start with me. What? If you trust me, then I promise that no matter what that thing is, I won't hate you for it. You can't promise that! Why not? What if I said it was a bomb? Would you still hate me? Would you still not hate me for having a bomb, Dave? I whined, suddenly feeling uneasy about what Haas was implying. He didn't really have a bomb, or at least that's what I was hoping for. He ran his hands through his mane, sighing out. Don't worry, it's not a bomb. Then what is it that Benson got you to fix? Not that I really got it working, but I knew what it was at least. Haas, you're killing me. Just what is it? It's an ECM jammer. I have no idea what that is. Of course you don't. But a jammer? Like something to block something? Block what? It stands for Electronic countermeasure. It's what you use when you don't want people to use things like radar and other sort of stuff like that in an area. They're pretty illegal because they can block cell phone signals too. But why would Benson ask you to fix this? Why you, and why does he have one of these? That's likely my fault. The details aren't really all that important right now, but when I know more, I'll tell you. I'd rather you not ask him just in case something bad happens. But you do know how to fix one of these. Not even a little bit. I made a deal with Benson and he left me some instructions to follow. Don't even know what his plans were behind offering me this specifically anyway. That's all it was though, just a jammer? Why'd you bring up bombs then? It's very illegal to have one of these, remember? Just think about what that means overall. With one of these, you could stop our cell phones from working. He seemed to ignore my questioning of the bomb, but the idea of losing phone reception was troubling. That would suck. Which would mean if anything were to happen, we couldn't call for help. My eyes widened as the revelation hit, and panic started to set in. What if something happened? What do we do? But it's alright. If anything bad happens, trust me that we'll get through it, alright? He pulled me in close and hugged me tight. At any point I could have pushed him away, but I didn't. The only reason I had become conscious of how long we'd been hugging was due to my legs getting tired. Haas guided me by the hand to the rec room, and we watched anime in tense silence for a bit. What could we say to one another? What could I say to him? Before I knew it was time for lunch, and we wandered downstairs. Maybe I was overthinking things, but he seemed quieter than normal. But he was still smiling, so things were okay. Right? Haas died. Downstairs, maybe? The only thing I was really certain of was the fact that he'd been stabbed. I scratched my head while my pen hovered over the paper. I hadn't really learned much from downstairs unless I wanted to start accusing people. Tyson seemed to be the most likely, but I refused to believe that on principle. Orlando, maybe he liked knives, but it was Dean that owned one of the knives used according to Sal. I was even assuming it was a hunting knife. But really, who would want to kill Haas? He was fine. Mostly. The addition of that jammer had me worried, though. What was Benson thinking? What was he planning? Oh, hi, Sal. Hi, Sal. Baby girl. Slowly, my mind went back to the things I'd spoken to Haas about. His knowledge of the library, among the other things on my mind. Had he told Sal something? Did he just give off that vibe that makes people think he knows more than he does? Was he hiding anything from me beyond what he'd already shown me? I sighed out, rubbing my face when Sal realized I had been lost in my own thoughts for a minute. Remember, the offer is still there from this morning. If you need me to be available, you only have to say so. I know. Thanks, Sal. I fucking love Sal. Not as much as Bacon, but I still love him. I love him to death! Ah! Oswald said the vault works through trauma. What if it's Sal? Is there a pattern? Yes. I think it's massacre. I think the password is massacre. Let me just make sure. Bomb. Only last time one time. Only last one time. No phone, start a mob. What? I think it's massacre, but I just want to be sure. Under spoilers, pins. Yeah, it's massacre. I was right! That's right, we upset Sal. I stripped down and plugged my phone in before collapsing on my bed, staring at the ceiling. My mind started to wander. A jammer. What would someone need with one of those anyway? Venus? What? I looked towards the door of my room as I heard it close quietly, with Haas now leaning against the door. He approached the bed, stopping next to it, looking down at me, the scent of coconut and lime following him as he got closer. Hey. Hey, is everything alright? Yeah, it's all great, There was more silence, and it was getting uncomfortable. Why, did you want some company tonight? I mean, can I spend the night with you? Oh, that's fine, I guess. I don't have to if you don't want the company. Like, I just figured I'd ask given I got wind of what, well. He gestured over his shoulder towards the door with a thumb. Sal looked like a mess indeed. Well, I know what stress looks like. It didn't go well. I shuffled across on the bed and Haas took it as an invitation to join me. Want to talk about it? He kinda left me in the lurch after claiming he was going to kill someone. That's all it is. I got the vault working again and now... Sighing out, I went limp on the bed, letting my arms fall to my knees, to my sides. Sal's upset and I probably upset Dean too. He said it was fine, but I don't know, I feel terrible. Can't fix it in the morning? I guess maybe, but shouldn't I be helping now? Sometimes giving people their space is important too. Like how you're giving me space now? And now, don't be a brat, I get enough of that from my siblings. Amethyst? Don't. Sorry, I'm just... What you need is some rest. He leaned in and kissed me quickly on the cheek, rolling me over onto my side. Stay right there, I'm gonna hit the light. He disappeared for all of a second before turning once all the lights had been turned off. With him as a big spoon, he pressed right up into my back. It helped a little, but I still had so many questions running through my head. Plus, we're so fucking dead. Dave, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go hide under your bed. But Venus minus the B and add the P. No! Hey, Haas? Yeah? I didn't have a reply. I was so exhausted, but the moment the words started to form on my mouth, I fell asleep. Okay. Haas was still behind me. I could feel his breath and his fur against my back, signaling he was asleep. Still asleep. Fuck. Oh, hi, Oswin. Hi, bitch. Try to bitch slap. Haas strode over and placed his hands on the back of my chair, resting his weight on it as Orlando followed close behind. So, it's a bit of a surprise that I woke up by myself this morning.
Why?
I'm guessing it'd be because a certain someone didn't sleep well, right? He ruffled the fur on top of my head and I forced a laugh. Something like that, at least. Oh, alright. I have Infinity Egg. Eggy. Haas goes, they're out. Oh, you mean when they play their trading cards or whatever? Any card game, apparently. Dude, if you're gonna cheat, at least do it properly.
I don't cheat, honest.
Great, so without further ado, let me just go get that game. Hey, Dave, mind giving me a hand? Oh, sure. Haas wandered over to the side where all the games were kept and started looking through them. It didn't take long before I realized he was just making a show of it. Haas? He kept his voice low, eyes glued to the games in front of him. So I didn't think this far ahead. Frowning, I shot a glance over to Roswell and Tyson. Both of them seemingly minding their own business without interacting with one another. You didn't? It was hard enough to get them in the same room. And God knows Tyson needs more friends. But you're starting with Roswell. Of all people, you chose him over, like, Dean. Orlando. I tried with Dean as far as anime was concerned, and that was a bust. At least Roswell was in the anime club. I think you're missing the point. You do know they don't get on, right? Oh, I know. It's just that I've thought this through enough that this is the right place to start. He pulled a game at random off the shelf, looking it over before putting it back. Just wish I thought the choice of game through a bit more. Grabbed one off the shelf and started walking towards Roswell and Tyson, leaving Haas behind. That said, he didn't linger too far behind as we got back to the others. It's so aggressive. Was this what Haas was planning after all? Was he deliberately trying to rock the boat to incite change? I lingered a little longer on Haas, who had been throwing me for a loop more than usual. Stupid pretty-faced Haas, playing both the suave potential boyfriend energy and the up-to-no-good energy at the same time. Pretty boy doing the pretty-faced routine.
If you want to lose again, we could go again.
I ain't losing to you, pig. Load it up.
Fighting words. But sure.
As I set my controller down, I looked to Haas, who had done the same. He was shaking his head at the other two, gesturing with his head for me to follow him. In the same movement, he got up. What? I'm sorry. In the same movement he got up and I did the same, just as Roswell booted up the next round of games. They might need a moment. I looked over to the pair of them hurriedly mashing buttons with their eyes trained on the screen in front of them. At least they aren't fighting. There is that. Might not become friends over this, but it's a start. Well, thanks for doing this. Why are you thinking of me? Didn't you do this for me, or... I have never heard you say that or anything remotely to that, Amethyst. I meant to when I said Dyson needed more friends. This is just a convenient bonus that it's something you like. But no, I didn't do this because of you. Oh. I shuffled nervously on the spot, fiddling with my hands. Not everything's about you. You do know that, right? I know, but just... Haas sighed out, running a hand through his mane and scratching his head. What's the matter with you? Is it still the thing from last night? Did you talk to Sal? I shook my head, scuffing my foot against the floor. Dean said not to worry about it. Did he say not to worry about it? Worry about making it up to him or making it up to Sal? I don't remember. He shook his head, patting me on the shoulder. Didn't already know that Sal's got his hands full dealing with Orlando's swimming lesson. I'd say go talk to him now. A cheer from off the side signaled that the game had finished, with Ty throwing down his controller in triumph with Roswell sitting in his beanbag with his jaw clenched. Okay, we're doing anime now. They're getting to eat it for their own good. We wandered over just in time to catch Tyson razzing Roswell over the last game. Get fucked, nerd! Who's the loser now? Ty! Ty shrugged, rolling his eyes. What? Playing nice, I see. You can't go doing that, big dog. Don't call me a dog. You're right. A dog would know how to behave. Oh, shit. He said it with such a straight face, even when Roswell flinched, fearing what he'd do. Haas? Maybe you shouldn't... Fine. I'll lay off him. Going to apologize, or... Don't push your luck. He growled and Haas threw up his hands lazily, backing down. I looked between the three of them, wondering how we'd gotten here. Either way, we're done with games for now. Why?
He's gonna say anime, isn't he, Dave?
I chuckled as Haas threw a sour look at Roswell. I mean, I'm down, but... But what?
Lunchtime. We've been at this for a few hours.
I guess that's true.
I might bow out of anime, though. Might do some reading instead, so I don't spend all day staring at a screen. Also because if we're watching anime, I figure Haas is going to get a bit much.
It can't be that bad. It wasn't that bad the other day, anyway.
You're new to this, trust me, he's been holding back on you. I don't know why, given none of us got the same treatment.
Well, if he's... Actually, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna need a break before getting back into anime. How much of a break? Ty shrugged. Neither of you are coming back after lunch, are you? I could watch anime. That you could, buddy. I knew one of you had taste. All of us headed downstairs for lunch with Haas leading the way. When we hit the kitchen, Roswell and Tyson made themselves food and left in different directions, leaving just Haas and myself. With sandwiches in hand, we headed on back to the rec room, or at least I thought that was where we were going. Haas? He closed the door behind us, leaning back against it. So, you don't seem happy. Well, yeah, but you know why. Not that I would have assumed you would have been more thrilled that Roswell and Dyson were at each other's throats. I guess I am, but you said it wasn't for me, so... It wasn't, but I didn't expect your reaction to two of your favorite people getting on being so muted. Sorry. He rubbed his temples before reaching behind him and opening the door again. Well, come on then, let's go watch the anime and pick your spirits up. We both wandered in and I took up my beanbag again, getting comfortable. Haas put on something and sat down too, taking the beanbag next to me. But something felt off. Rather than being excited, he looked bored or frustrated with something. It's alright, Haas, I'm sure they'll get on eventually. He shrugged, keeping his eyes on the screen, and I sank deeper into my beanbag. Episode after episode went by before he finally spoke. Tell me something. Huh, what is it? What's really got you down? What's that thing that Roswell and Orlando know about that I don't? I don't know what they know that you don't. And narrow it down to what's got you upset. It's more than just what's going on with Sal. You two aren't even that close. We're close. Maybe not as close as some of the others, but he's still a friend. And Dean? He's a friend too? For someone that's meant to be dating him, that's a very cruel way to put it. You are dating, right? Sort of? Maybe? I don't know. Why not? Orlando's been on your case about that for a while. Whenever it gets brought up, you just laugh and get all bashful. Just, I don't know, you're keeping something pressed right down and it's annoying. Annoying how? I'm allowed to have my secrets. Yes, you are, but the moment starts impacting how you're interacting with others, you need to talk to someone about it. You need to let someone help. Like who? Literally anyone, Dave! Asked Tyson what was happening with you, and he didn't want to say either. So that's something you had to tell me. It's nothing really, Haas threw up his hands, frowning. I'm not going to say that I'm entitled to know because I trusted you with my secret, but I assume by now I'd get to know something to start figuring things out. What? Forget it. Don't worry, I'll just put on the next episode and we'll keep going. As he got up, I reached forward and grabbed his hand. It's hard to talk about is all. Yeah, none of this stuff ever is, Dave, like... He pulled his hand and gazed away, trying to find something to look at while he thought his words over. I've been wanting to tell someone about myself and liking guys for a while because keeping it repressed was getting to me, especially hanging around with Orlando for so long. And there's you and Dean, it's just... He threw his hands up and stomped over to put on the next episode of anime, returning to his beanbag and collapsing into it. Tell me this at least. What did you really think about us spending the night together? I thought back, immediately remembering the overwhelming but pleasant scent of coconut and lime. I remember the softness of his fur, the way he cradled his body with mine. It was nice. It was nice, I think. Would you have come to ask me the same? Huh? As in, go to your room and... Obviously, like, if you're not interested, just say so. Interested? What? As in you? You can't be serious. I was torn between whining and laughing, a mix between nervous and upset without knowing how best to respond. Don't you dare laugh, Dave! I can't help it! Why do you think I told you what I did in the library? You trusted me? That's one reason, sure! You know what? I don't want to talk about this anymore. I went to speak and he just held up a hand, cutting me off without a word. His eyes were trained on the screen, and we once again were watching anime in tense silence. Just give up, Dave. Let whatever happens happen. The words echoed around in my head. Maybe I should just give up and just leave Haas alone. He didn't want to talk about things, so that's that. As the episodes continued, I fidgeted, watching as Haas's expression eased slightly and he seemed to be enjoying himself. How was I fighting things? Letting things just play out seemed to just make things better. Then I remembered how he'd proposed talking to Tyson to find out more about him and what I'd seen in the vault. There wasn't anything indicating Tyson had even done anything, but I butted in anyway. Hey. I flinched, having been lost in my thoughts, and looked to Haas quickly. So, sorry about getting in your face about things. It's okay. We're friends, so you should know, but it's hard. Yeah, I hear that. But I don't think I can tell you just yet. It's fine, don't worry about it. He almost sounded apathetic, making me wonder. But I did want to know one thing. What is it? The jammer. Why did Benson... Haas sighed out, glancing at me quickly. I know the house fairly well back from the Clearwater days, but not everything about it. I asked him if there was anything I didn't know about the house, secret passages outside of the one from the conservatory where that other door in the library went. He offered a trade, fix the jammer, and he'll tell me everything I wanted to know. Oh, well, I guess that's a fair trade. He gave me a confused look, but I knew what likely was making the trade difficult on Haas's end. Oswin's secrecy and what he had behind the door in the library was making something big. It was likely something big given until now he'd been hidden away. It's no secret that the whole vault thing's been messing with you more than once. First it was seeing me, then the thing with Benson, then the thing with Sal last night. I'm just looking out for you was all. I don't understand. I don't need to be looked out for, do I? As what friends do, idiot. I'd do the same for Roswell and Lander too if they were freaking out about something. It's why I'm reaching out to Tyson, because he's bothered by stuff. He is? You can't be that naive, Dave. Or maybe you are. Oh, well, I guess that's that then. He paused the episode that was playing and lay back, a playful smile on his face. What? Nothing, just... Guess my read on you was wrong, don't worry about it. No, I don't understand, what do you mean? I just assume that, given enough time or people you're comfortable around, I might see the emergence of this fabled fun Dave I've heard about. There was an air of sadness in his voice when he continued, punctuating it with a slight chuckle. Guess that version of you is long dead, huh? I was stunned, a sinking feeling in my chest making itself known. Well, I think I might go see what Big Dog is up to. You enjoy watching anime, Dave? You're leaving? I thought watching anime was your idea. It was, but now I need a break. Oh well, that's fine. Let me turn this off and I'll come too. No, Dave. I need a break from you. Sorry, but I have stuff I want to sort out. Stuff I can't sort out with you around. Oh. He flashed me a weak smile before turning away. Feebly, I reached out to stop him from going, but he left all the same. Just give up, Dave. Let whatever happens happen. As I sat there watching him go and then disappear out of the room, a quiet whine escaped from my maw. He didn't hate me, did he? Should I go apologize? Should I do anything? Times like this when Tyson was upset, we'd do something. Be it get food and talk, or just lay next to each other on the floor until we apologized to one another, but he was normally around. With Orlando, he'd apologize by baking a cake, and when I apologized, he'd bake a cake to show there was no bad air between us. Roswell was candy, Dina was food. One time I upset Sal, I wrote him a letter that I gave to Orlando to pass on and got one back. Apologizing was meant to be easy, right? Well, with Haas, I don't know where we stood. Did he like me? Did I like him? Was it just something that I'd come up with given the vault had been stressing me out so much? Who was Haas? What was he to me? Who was I to him? I sat there with my thoughts, wondering if there was just some way to just unload all of this stress. Crying would have been perfect if I only knew how. I tugged at my fur and managed to pull out a clump, but the sting alone wasn't enough to set me off. Nothing ever was these days. And instead I just felt it festering somewhere deep in my chest, instead making me sick. I turned things off and figured that was enough for today. And that for better or worse, it was probably best I had a change in scenery. Yeah, let's visit the vault. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Amethyst, seriously, that wasn't funny. That's just... it's incredibly fucked up. Haas had been a solid friend from the moment he came into my life. You know what? No. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Cat's Dragon Amethyst. All I'm gonna ask is that next stream, please don't fight and just don't fight. That's all I'm asking. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.